And it seems to correspond to the colors that at least some manufacturers use. I'm pretty sure ASUS uses blue for reset. How much did we pay for this thing? $97. What? So apparently cases are not actually a great deal on Wish.com. At least it has a tempered glass front panel. All right, let's open up our next mystery package here. Ah, a motherboard. What is with all the bubble wrap around this thing? I mean, in fairness, it still looks like it got drop kicked. So there's a couple takeaways here. One, all the extra packaging seems to be justified, and two, the way that they're applying their extra packaging is not very effective. Oh, so that's interesting. Yeah, this motherboard is not that at all. Full testing, okay. All right. So this is clearly a very used board. Was it clear from the listing that it was gonna be used? Okay, how much did we pay for this bad boy? $46. $46 for an H61 board? That's not even a good deal. Why do people buy this stuff? And like, do you know how much these socket covers cost if you buy them in bulk? I know, pennies. They put a piece of paper in. Look at this. That's it, that's their socket cover. Now in fairness, it doesn't look like there are any bent pins, so that's good, but it's still not how I would have preferred it done. All right, we also apparently have a CPU, and it comes in what looks like a compact flash card case, which I guess is kind of cute. It's an Intel Core i3-2130. I guess this was just what CPU they had that was compatible with what board they had, kind of thing. How much did we pay for this guy? $49. 50 bucks? Seriously? This is a ripoff. So already, for the price of this CPU and motherboard, we probably could have gotten like an old Dell business PC that would have included case, power supply, probably a drive, some RAM, and we could have just like thrown a graphics card in it, but what the heck. So I was informed before we started that I actually have two options for coolers. I have this Great Wall heatsink cooler. I am kind of liking this. This is actually very similar to the old Zalman flower coolers that used to be popular back in the socket 754 days. So that's candidate number one. And candidate number two is actually an AIO liquid cooler. I mean, it shouldn't surprise me given that they're all basically made in China anyway, but this looks very, very similar in materials and construction to what you'd get from an AIO cooler that you purchased just normally off of Amazon or whatever. Tubing wise, like seems like the materials they're using are okay. It feels like an aluminum radiator, it's pretty light, but that should be fine, except that there's a copper block, except that some manufacturers do that. I don't know what they're doing, I think they're crazy. Okay, you know what? If the AIO fits, then we're gonna go with that. But it's no guarantee that we're gonna be able to get it in here because even though this does have mounts for dual 120mm fans up here, that doesn't mean that there's gonna be enough clearance once we install a power supply. And no, in fact, there isn't. So it looks like we cannot use our AIO cooler, and we are unfortunately going to be stuck with our regular heatsink. So how much were each of those? So our theme continues of our prices not necessarily being outlandishly bad on these ones. I'd say 80 bucks for like a, I don't know, kind of decent looking AIO is fine, but it's certainly not special. Okay, so it should just be a matter of throwing our clips on here, and clip one, and clip two. Give it a little wiggle, and plug in. Did we also buy RAM off Wish? Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. That is some, hey, wait a second.